Hello, Jen.
Hello, hi.
Thanks so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day. I can't imagine your to-do list at the moment.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy, but it's great. We have lots of help. Uh,
No, so first of all, we were at a hockey rink, but you walk through the doors and the last thing you think is hockey rink. How do you manage to make that kind of amazing transformation?
yeah, this is our 39th year, so we've somewhat perfected, but we keep trying to refine each year the process of setting up the art. And it takes about a month to set up the show and then about a week to take it back down. So, and we have over 300 volunteers that are amazing and give all their time to this effort.
Now, I have in my mind a picture of a bunch of guys with toolboxes to the nth degree and happily pounding nails in here.
Well, it's a mixture. So we do also have a hired crew to set up the big heavy parts because we used to do it with volunteers, but it's a lot to ask. So and then we have painting, and then of course our design team does their magic. We have a gift show, we have a youth art. So there's all sorts of different components and we have about 20 different team leads that run their own teams to make the magic happen.
Miles and miles of fabric getting tacked up.
Yes, that's right. That's what we put around the outside perimeter that covers all the glass walls of the arena. And so when you dim the lights and you have the special lighting all over the art, then we get questions at the end of it and saying, what is this place when it's not an art show?
And they don't believe it when you say hockey rink.
No, and often people say, you should do this all year round. And I say, well, that's not entirely possible on the ice, but yeah.
So you create a gallery, but it's kind of a gallery like no other because it's not just the art, is it?
That's right. We have a stage with live music. We have our live artist demonstrations and talks and tours. And then we have a gift shop, like as I said, and we also have the youth art. So, and then we have an info booth. So for people coming from out of town, they want to know more about what there is to do in Sooke. So we give them lots of information.
Now let's concentrate on the art for a moment.
Yeah.
How do you choose which art to display? Because I am sure you get amazing submissions you actually have to say no to.
That's right. We get probably around 1,500 submissions, and they're all so many talented artists, and it's done. The choices are made by a separate jury that adjudicate separately, and so. But of course, we can only exhibit, up to about 380 pieces. So it's always hard for them to narrow it down.
See, the devil in me says, what about the Winter Fine Arts Show?
Oh, I know. But this takes a year to create, and yeah,
That was why it was the devil in me. So tell us about the artists. Now, where do they come from? All from Sooke or all from the region? Where are the artists originating from?
Yeah, so our catchment is BC's coastal islands. So that includes all the way up to Haida Gwaii, but mostly it's probably Vancouver Island and the Gulf Islands.
It's an amazing opportunity for an artist in Sooke, isn't it? Because you get people come here not only from Sooke, but really all over.
Yeah, that's right. We have across BC, across Canada, we have international visitors. It's a wonderful opportunity to get your work shown. There's not really many other shows like this that are quite so big and have such a big spread. So,
tell me a little bit about the art. What are some of the pieces that we're going to see this year that you're thinking, oh, thank heavens this is in the show? People should see this.
We have some dynamic sculptural pieces, a couple of large pieces. There's quite a variety. It's always so striking to see what comes in. We don't know, obviously, in the office because the jurors are separate. But so there's lots of color. Sometimes we find a theme emerging, but we don't always know it until the end of the show when we're like, oh, that's interesting. It seems like there's an energy of, positivity or something like that. There was quite a different energy after COVID when we came back and did our live show after that. So.
Well, are you saying some of the same things this year? Because some people would say the last few months have been quite dark for a lot of people in the world. And I know a lot of the works are produced much earlier than the last few months. But do you get any sense of that emerging in some of the art?
Could be. It's hard to say. I mean, I honestly am still having time to go and look at all the art at the moment. But yeah, there is a lot of color, I would say. That's a very interesting thing that we are noticing.
Yeah, maybe some sort of yin to the yang of that sense of darkness is to provide the brightness. But those are the things you get to ponder when you wander around an art show, aren't they? Yeah, how, for the uninitiated, how big is it? How long should I budget of my time to come here and really get the sense of what you've got on display?
That's a great question. Actually, I would probably say a couple of hours. We have the layout of our art, our gallery is a number of pods that can feel like a bit of a maze. And so it's definitely worth taking your time, because even by the time you get to the end of the maze and you come back around, you'll see things you didn't see the first time around. But we have a concession here as well, so that you can take your time and stop and have a cup of tea and listen to the music or listen to a talk, watch a demo. So there's lots to take in.
And a lot of the artists are here as well, so sometimes you get a chance to actually talk to the artist, right?
That's right, definitely. Like through the demos, the talks, the tours, it's definitely a great opportunity to find out more about art. It's very interesting. A lot of people, we've heard people in the past say, I don't know anything about art. Why would I go to an art show? And it's just about going to experience it. Just stand in front of it and see how it makes you feel.
I think a lot of people think the idea of art show is an intimidating thing, that they won't know what to think or they won't think the right thing. But really, there are no rules, are there?
Exactly right. There's no rules. It's just how it makes you feel. And sometimes you feel strongly about something and sometimes you have no feeling. But you don't always know until you stand in front of it.
It's so in terms of the numbers of people that will be here.
Yeah, it's about 10 days. So we have our opening night. With the opening night, it's about 11. So our opening night is a purchaser's preview special event. That's our one of our major fundraisers for the show. That's from 7 to 10. We're almost sold out of those tickets. And then we run from the 27th of July until August 4th.
And in terms of numbers, how many people do you expect over that time?
Sorry, I just realized I said 27th. The 26th of July until August 4th. Over the 10 days, 10 plus days, it's about 8,000 people, sometimes 9,000. So, yeah.
Now, last year was a difficult year for you, wasn't it? Because we had the fire, the potholes fire, that made people a bit hesitant about being out here, didn't it?
That's right, yeah. So, unfortunately, that hit right before the show opened, and so our numbers did go down at that point. But then after a few days, we got the word out, no, we're fine, and the fire hasn't affected us, and then the numbers started going back up. And
those numbers are important. I mean, they're not the only metric in terms of success, but they are important to you in terms of continuing and growing, right? So if people are thinking, well, I don't need to go, it actually is important that everybody who thinks they might like to actually turns up, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. We're a not-for-profit society, and our goal is to promote art and artists in our region. And art is part of everything in our society, and the more people can recognize that, the more they can support it, the more the joy it brings to everybody to go and stand in front of it. So, yeah.
But also when you're talking about people coming out from Victoria or down from Nanaimo and out-of-towners who come and see the show, it's a bit of an economic driver too, isn't it?
Absolutely. It brings so much into Sooke because they go and they eat at the restaurants, they go visit local places, they stay in our accommodations. So it brings a lot to Sooke at the time of the show.
So I'm really excited because one of my favorite things is meandering around, and I would have to say 2 hours doesn't even begin to do it for me because you get in front of something and it captures you. And the thing about art is that you think, oh, I must move on, and then you look at your watch and think, I've been here for 15 minutes looking at this piece. What's that magic?
Yeah, that's art. You get lost in the world in front of you, and the story. We have description cards that tell you a little bit about the artist's journey and what they meant, what they were thinking, their techniques when they were making the piece. So, yeah, you get pulled in.
Tell me a little bit about the youth art.
Right. So we have A special youth art gallery that consists this year of about 50 pieces, and they're from high school students in the SD62 region. And so we're trying to showcase and support emerging artists. We have these beautiful panels that were created by an amazing volunteer, Murray Tompkins, and he did a new lighting setup this year for it, and it's all in the name of supporting young artists and helping them on their journey.
That's a fantastic boost to a young artist, isn't it, to have this kind of exposure as you're just getting started?
Absolutely, yeah. And we've had artists go from that gallery into the main gallery. We also have one of the youth artists from that gallery working in our office this year, and she's amazing. She's contributing so much. So, yeah.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to ask a little bit about your volunteers, because you've mentioned the volunteers are doing this, the volunteers are doing that. Tell me a little bit about the small army it takes to make this happen.
Honestly, it's such a force to put this show up, and we have so many dedicated volunteers, and the team leads themselves are rocks. You know, our design lead, Shannon, our setup coordinator, Dallas, our gift shop team lead, Bev. We have, Gunny, our volunteer coordinator. We have so many amazing team leads that it's just hard to name them all, and we're so thankful. We could not do it without them.
I always find it's a little humbling when you work with a primarily volunteer group of people, because people putting themselves out there to make anything a success is always extraordinary.
Definitely, but a big part of it is also having them feel like they're part of something big, and the community aspect of that, of bringing everyone together and feeling that they're all a family, is priceless.
Let's go over logistics one more time. What day do you open and what time?
Great, yes, we have an opening night, July 25th, this Friday. That's our Purchasers Preview event, and there's a few more tickets available for that, but that does sell out, and there's no tickets at the door for that. And then our opening day is at 10 a.m. on July 26th. That's the Saturday. And then we have various events throughout the 10 days. We have a seniors tea, we have a family day, we have a market night that coincides with the market here at the museum, and that goes till 9 p.m. That's on the 31st, and then we close on the 4th of August.
And admission?
Admission is $17 for adults and $12 for seniors. We also, on these market days and the family day, it's also $5 after a certain time. So it's good to check the website. But we try to give concession days, because we know that families need concessions. So,
Need some help. Yeah. And the website is?
SookeFineArts.com.
Terrific. Well, best of luck with the show. I'm sure it will be a smashing success as always. And we'll check back in with you afterwards to see what your metrics say.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Sue.
Thank you so much, Jen.